Dirt Trax is sponsored by Can-Am, the ride says it all. Polaris, the world leader in off-road innovation. And by Yamaha, conquer outdoors.
So it's that time of year again. It's time for the Dirt Trax crew to make their first trip to Hatfield McCoy of the season. We're going to ride a new trail system called the Devil Anse Trail System, and we're pretty excited about what this trail system means and what it does for Hatfield McCoy in general. One of the things I hear a lot in speaking with people about Hatfield McCoy is that it's a long way away. And the truth is, it's not really as far as you think. For us, it's about 700 miles, which takes about 12 hours. But for people all around the eastern United States and Canada, it's worth the one-day drive. For example, to Charleston, West Virginia, it's only 527 miles from Toronto, 532 miles from New York, 491 miles from Chicago, and 800 miles approximately from Montreal. So all of these trips are doable within a day or a day and a half. And the reality is, it is so worth the drive. What you find here, you can't find anywhere else. So to take a day to drive and spend a week riding, totally worth it. To say that I've been to Hatfield McCoy a lot would be a huge understatement. I have been here more times than I can count, and every time I come back, I experience something new. We've done things like whitewater rafting, we did caving, we rode motorcycles, I've stayed at unique places, I've met unique people, just so many different things you can do while you're down in West Virginia riding the Hatfield McCoy trails. And this time is no different because we get to preview an all-new trail system called the Devil Anse system, and it connects two other of the Hatfield McCoy trail systems together to make one great big riding experience. I think what I like about this area of West Virginia the most, and what I think the Devil Anse trail system offers the rider, is the ability to experience all kinds of different unique communities. Every one of these little communities that's connected now is different in its own way. Matewan, for example, has got awesome history both with the Hatfield-McCoy feud and the mining industry and the mining wars way back when. You've got Logan, that's sort of more of a city. You've got Man, that's a little bit of a suburb of Logan and has got a really nice hometown vibe right on the river. Gilbert is sort of where it all began with the community center, and Trails Fest happens there. Williamson is just a quaint little place that you know, has got a great feel and really makes you feel welcome when you're there. These are all unique communities, and you can access all of them from one location now. And I think that opens up a world of possibilities for riding. For this trip, we're staying in the town of Man, which is in Logan County. And I've actually stayed here before. It was many years ago. We stayed here at the Depot Lodge, which is a fantastic lodge if you're down in this area. And it's not that far from the town of Logan itself, and Logan is right off the freeway, so it's really easy to get to. In West Virginia, accommodations all have their unique flavor, and the Depot certainly fits that mold. It is one very unique location. It's an old train station that's been converted into sort of a lodge type, hotel type deal. It can sleep 30 people, and it's got a lot of unique features on the outside. It's just a really unique location and a great place to base your ride out of when you're riding Hatfield McCoy trails. The morning we rode, we met up with Chris, John, and Cody from Hatfield right out in front of the Depot Lodge, and they had a great ride in store for us that would take us across multiple systems and highlight the new Devil Anse system, of course, being the reason we're there.
The Devil Anse Trail system is going to consist of 60 to 80 miles of trail. It will connect two trail systems together, the Rock House Trail System and the Buffalo Mountain Trail System. The Hatfield McCoy Trail System is an economic development project. We currently have over 700 miles of trail. We are a 9-county project area, and our mission is to connect to every community in every county.
Dirt Trax is sponsored by Princess Auto, a unique world of equipment, tools, and more.
The first part of the ride out of the town of Man was definitely something to experience. They have redecked an old train bridge. It's super long, one of the longest rideable bridges in North America right now, and it's been professionally redecked. It crosses the river right there in Man, and it's really a neat kind of feature of the trails in that area. It's the only way to get out of town, so if you're gonna stay in Man, you're gonna cross the bridge. Before we go any further, we need to talk about the importance of the Devil Anse Trail system, and it's a big deal for Hatfield McCoy. It's not just another system. The Devil Anse Trail system connects Rockhouse with Buffalo Mountain, and what that means is that you can ride all the way from one side of Buffalo Mountain straight across to the other side of Rockhouse.
We developed these two trail systems, the Rockhouse and the Buffalo Mountain, right at 15 years ago. Since we've worked on connecting those two systems, which will connect 5 separate communities.
Now that the Devil Anse Trail is being built and is almost finished, you can access the towns of Man, Gilbert, Logan, Matewan, Delbarton, and Williamson, all from any location on those trails. Our ride day left from the town of Man, and we rode Rockhouse to get to the Devil Anse system. And Rockhouse trails I've ridden a number of times. They're fantastic, as always. Impeccably maintained. There's all kinds of really cool elevation changes with awesome switchbacks riding up the sides of the mountain. We were there when it was relatively wet, so there was some mud and lots of mud puddles, but riding this trail got us to the new Devil Anse system.
Some of the biggest challenges connecting 3 trail systems together are the rivers, roads, railroad tracks, and finding a way on the land company's properties where we don't affect their mining and timbering and gas. We work really close with a lot of different private landowners to create our trail systems, and they're our #1 supporters and have really made Hatfield McCoy what they are today.
The Devil Anse Trail system is also unique in that it's the first trail system Hatfield McCoy has built from nothing. It was not built on previous mining, gas, or timber roads. They're building each trail themselves the whole way. So when we arrived, the trails were literally just built. And if Hatfield McCoy knows how to do one thing, they know how to build awesome trails. They're wide, they're smooth, they're diverse in terms of elevation changes, lots of great views. You can go fast or slow. Obviously, just like Hatfield, there's all different types of trails when you're there in terms of beginner, intermediate, difficult, expert. It offers all of the things that you love about Hatfield McCoy trails in a new environment, and each trail was built specifically for side-by-sides and ATVs. While we were out on the Devil Anse system, the guys we were riding with said they had a really unique place to take us, and something that I'd never seen before, something that was now accessible thanks to the Devil Anse system that wasn't previously accessible by ATV. So when we rolled up along the side of one of the roads to a trail marker, a historical sign that said it was the Hatfield family cemetery, that sparked my interest. You kind of climb a hill up into the mountains, really, and on the side of the hill is a cemetery that's hundreds of years old. And an interesting part about it is that it is the Hatfield family cemetery, which means anybody buried there was somehow related to the Hatfields. And everybody in the Hatfield family is there, from Devil Anse himself to his sons, his wife, his nephews and nieces and cousins. It is such a unique place to just wander around and take in the meaning of what this place is and how it is so connected to the history of the area and all the stories you've heard. After we were done at the cemetery, we'd ridden quite a long way at this point, and we needed some gas, and the guys said we can make it to Horsepen Mountain. Now that Devil Anse is open to that point, you can now get up to Horsepen Mountain, and there's a gas station there with a little restaurant. We were hungry and we needed gas, so it was the perfect location for us to head to.
When trail riders come and visit these 3 trail systems that are connected together, they're in for a real treat. You've got every aspect of trail riding here. You've got good views, you've got tight trails, you've got open trails, you've got slow trails. It's a package deal. It's got everything you want. You can spend a good week here and still not see everything.
If you think about it, when you have access to 300+ miles of trail, you have to have access to gas and food and amenities as well, because a person can't physically take all the stuff with them that they want to for multi-day rides, or maybe they don't want to take all their stuff with them. So being able to access Horsepen Mountain at this point is perfect and makes a lot of sense. It's a very important feature of Hatfield McCoy Trails that you can access these things right from the trail, and it's something that sets this place apart, again, from a lot of other places we ride. After we were done with gas, it was our mission was to get back home, of course. And as we were headed back home, I was thinking to myself, Hatfield McCoy never stops evolving. And the Devil Anse system may not be finished right now, but as they complete sections of it, they open those sections right away. Their target completion date is sometime in the next year, sooner than later, they've all said. But you can watch their website to find out exactly what portions are open, and you can watch for when the whole system itself is complete. But it really speaks to the motivation behind the Hatfield McCoy crew and how they understand the rider. They get ATVing, they get side-by-side riders. They love riding their side-by-sides and ATVs, and they want to have the best trails for themselves and for us, so that we all want to come back over and over.
Closed captioning of Dirt Trax is sponsored by Triton Trailer, built for adventure.
Most of the upgrades we do around here are on brand new rigs, and that's because we have a whole lot of them at the Dirt Trax headquarters. But we realize there's a lot of folks with older ATVs who are looking to breathe a little bit of new life into them. And with the help of our friends at Kimpex, we're going to breathe new life into this 680 Rincon through the use of easily orderable Kimpex supplied parts. It's important to make sure you order your parts from a quality supplier like Kimpex, who has a long history and also stock a large variety of parts, so you're not stuck on the sidelines waiting to receive your goods. While the motor in this Rincon is still strong, it has lost a little bit of power over time, which means that it's about time to give it a bit more power and get it back in the game. It's no surprise that in the world of big bores, the 680 is lacking a little bit in the horsepower department, but with a 2-punch from HMF, Kimpex supplied us with not just the exhaust but the power optimizer as well, to make sure we pull all available juice from the Rincon 680 power plant and the new HMF exhaust. With the stock exhaust out of the way, it's pretty easy to get the new one into place because there's a lot of room to work back here. The install is pretty simple with just a couple of hose clamps and a few bolts, and you can do it yourself in about an hour. This is the HMF Performance Series and is designed to work together with the optimizer to net real gains. Bragging a 10% increase in power, the 4-inch HMF 6063 T6 aluminum shell on this Performance Series exhaust looks clean and custom. But it's what's inside that really counts, because all exhausts are not created equal, and HMF prides itself on building power. Featuring a 2 1/8-inch unrestricted core, the HMF Performance Series is going to not only flow freer, but it's also going to distribute power evenly across the RPM range, which means out on the trail, you're going to have a linear throttle feel. And helping to increase the power and keep your engine running strong is the Gen 3 HMF Optimizer. Kimpex had this in stock for our Rincon, and they have it in stock for your ATV too. Thanks to a simple plug-and-play design, it's simple to install. The optimizer ensures with pre-programmed map settings that your vehicle EFI system is delivering the proper fuel, meaning you'll get the best performance possible, not just out of your HMF exhaust, but also your ATV. Now, HMF claims a 10% power increase, but just how much does it actually produce? Well, the only way to find that out is to take it out on the trail and see how it feels. Seat of the pants feel is what it's all about, seeing as we don't have a dyno handy to get the real world numbers. Does it feel stronger? Yes, it does. Does it feel like 10%? Well, I'd say it feels like all of 10%. Maybe it's the throaty HMF signature sound, but the Rincon really feels like it's able to stretch its legs. And while the top end digits aren't changed, the time it takes to get there does seem much better. with a nice linear throttle response across the entire RPM spectrum. While it's hard to differentiate between pipe and optimizer power, the truth is you should be using them in tandem because that's how they're designed to work. If you've kept up on maintenance and still enjoy your current ATV but are just looking for a little bit more power, there's no need to send it off to the farm, when a quick call to Kimpex will show you just how easy it is to breathe new life into your ride. When you think of sports side-by-sides, there's a whole lot more manufacturers that come to mind nowadays than there was just a few short years ago. And in my mind, one of the hardest charging is Arctic Cat. When they introduced the 70-inch Wildcat 1000 just a few short years ago, we knew they meant business and delivered a vehicle with unmatched suspension travel, incredible factory spec shocks, and an interior that felt the part of a full off-road buggy. But 70 inches was just the beginning. With the Wildcat 1000 received so well, we knew that Arctic Cat would come out with a 50-inch version, and we got that with the Trail. But then last season they came with another new product. With the Trail-capable 50-inch and dune-worthy 70-inch Wildcats, there was only one other place to go, the 60-inch market, which Polaris had tied up quite tightly with the Razor S and the new-to-market Can-Am Maverick XC. With big shoes to fill, Arctic Cat took a huge leap of faith and landed like cats always do, on their feet, ready to pounce. Right up front, I need to address the power of this vehicle. On both the Sport and Trail, Arctic Cat doesn't identify CCs anywhere on the vehicle. And the reason that they do this is smart, because for a 700cc motor, this vehicle over-delivers. You don't expect what Arctic Cat says is 60+ horsepower out of a 700. In fact, you wouldn't expect it out of most 800s. And when Arctic Cat says 60+, they actually mean more in the neighborhood of 64 to 66 from what we've seen. The key to the 700's power is not just the purpose-built motor, it's the power delivery system that all that horsepower is sent through, and it's how this kitty really puts its claws to the ground. Team Industries clutches are where it's at, and with the Thief River engineers you get some of the best clutch calibrators in the world working together to make a driveline package that's nothing less than impressive. The rapid response package hits hard from engagement, like a sport rig should, and pushes the limits, stretching those 60+ ponies to a level we didn't think possible. Corner to corner, this side-by-side delivers. The model I'm testing today is the Wildcat Sport Limited, which means that you get a whole lot of goodness for significantly less than the competition, and in my opinion, the best bang for your 60-inch buck. Okay, so number one, hands down best feature in the 60-inch business that blows the competition out of the water harder than a hurricane is the Elka Stage 5 shocks. Here's the straight goods. There are no other shocks in the market that can stand up to the precision build quality of these shocks. While many manufacturers treat shock development as a black art, Elka pays strict attention to vehicle dynamics and how that relates to the spring selection and rate calculation, ensuring what you get from the factory was exactly what they intended it to be. Yes, I know that I sound a little bit over the top, but if you knew how serious Elka was about their shocks, that they hand build and test every single one, you'd probably be pretty pumped up too. And they freaking work. Dual rate springs in the rear, singles in the front. High and low speed compression adjustability and a rebound clicker means fine-tuned precision. You can literally make this side-by-side do what you want. Hard landings on the track, no problem. Click it up. Soft rollers in the sand, no problem. Slow it down. Choppy trails? Yeah, we've got you covered. While there is enough adjustment to get you lost quickly, the stock settings are very solid. And if you're buying this package, you should take the time to learn about what Elka Stage 5s offer. One of my favorite features about the Sport is the interior design and the driver layout position, because nobody wants to feel cramped. Arctic Cat has the best interior design in my opinion. While some of the surfaces are rivaled by competition, the seating position, legroom, and driver space are nearly perfect. You never feel cramped, can stretch out your legs, and are never in the passenger space. And thanks to the convex full-height doors, you get added elbow room, which makes the interior feel huge. Now, one thing we need to address is price, and in my opinion, the Wildcat Sport Limited is the best price for features in the 60-inch category. You get power steering, cool graphics and coloration, full digital gauge, diff lock, aluminum full doors, sweet custom looking rims, aggressive quality tires, automotive style paint, oh, and of course the piece de resistance Elka Stage 5 shocks. And all of this for over $1,000 cheaper than the competition. Yeah, there may be a few horsepower missing, but the features are all there. The 60-inch Pure Sport marketplace is quickly becoming a war zone, and with a couple of manufacturers fighting over both horsepower and price, Arctic Cat has managed to sneak in under the radar with a potent package that's not just feature matched, it's cheaper too.
Dirt Trax Television has been sponsored by Polaris, the world leader in off-road innovation. Can-Am, the ride says it all. And by Arctic Cat. Share our passion.
If you've enjoyed this video, please subscribe to Dirt Trax TV's YouTube channel so you never miss another update.